All right, so I went back and forth about doing this video. This channel is called Tommy Loves Stuff, so it forces me to talk about the things I love. A pessimistic person by nature, so I don't like to put a lot of bad stuff here. I'll give you an honest review, but I'm not going to put something just to trash it. That said, I feel people need to know this. If you get nothing else from this video, know this. If you're in the Denver area, do not ever stay at the Doubletree by Hilton, Westminster. It is the worst hotel. And let me tell you why. So, a little bit of backstory. This is going to be a different video from damn near anything I've done so far. We're not doing an intro. I'm not trying to make it funny. I'm not trying to do whatever. I'm just trying to give you what happened and my disappointment in it all. We went to Denver because my brother was graduating college. Shout to Freddie again. Fantastic job. I went to Denver. I was staying in a different hotel from them because I booked way later. And I decided to stay closer to the campus. And so I stayed at the Doubletree by Hilton in Westminster. And the price was okay, a little bit pricey. I don't really know what's out there in Denver. And, I was super excited to go. I'd never been to Colorado. I was going to film a vlog about it, blah, blah, blah. I filmed some stuff for it. And I ended up going to a comic book store after the graduation, and that part was fun. But we ain't talking about that. We're talking about the hotel. Now, I got there, and right away, it was a little weird. I checked in, and, I hadn't eaten all day at that point. So I was like, oh, do you guys have any restaurants in the area? And he's like, oh, there's no restaurants around us for a bunch, miles. And I didn't know. I took an Uber there, an expensive Uber. And so I didn't really notice anything on the way there. And he's like, so why don't you eat at the hotel restaurant here? It's fantastic. And I was like, oh, okay, that was weird. So I checked in my room, and I decided just to go down to the restaurant. I called. First, they didn't have room service. They said our room service is shut down. I was like, oh, okay, well, whatever. So I went down to the restaurant, and the restaurant was closed. Like, why would you push it if it wasn't open for like another hour? So I ended up going up to the room, come back down the hour, and I ended up eating some trash burger that I could have had better at like a Red Robin's or even a McDonald's. Later on, I found out that like a block and a half away was a whole mess of restaurants. When another Uber I was in took a different way, so he lied to me. But anyway, what ended up happening the first night, I went to dinner with my family, and then they dropped me back off at the hotel. That's where I saw the restaurants and stuff like that on the way back that they took. I think I said Uber earlier, but that's wrong. Anyway, I'm trying to piece it all together because this happened a while ago. So, about 3:30 in the morning, I'm asleep, and I hear, and I woke up with that loud noise, and I thought, that's the door unlocking. And I see the hallway flooded with lights, and all of a sudden my door is like opening. Now, thankfully, I put the deadbolt on the door, and that's what stopped whoever from getting in. And I stood there like, I sat there on my bed like freaked out. I was by myself, thankfully. Thank God. My wife couldn't make the trip, unfortunately, because she had injured her ankle. She actually broke her ankle, and, she couldn't fly and stuff like that. But thank God I was by myself, because if something had happened, if I get robbed or I get beat up or something, it doesn't matter to me so much as like if she was there and she was hurt, I would have killed whoever was in there. Nothing's more important to me than her. So thankfully I was by myself, and that was one less concern. But I laid there for a couple minutes, nothing happened, and then I went to check the door through the keyhole, and, nobody was there anymore. But the door unlocking part was weird about me, so they had a key. They had a working key to my room. And if I hadn't put that deadbolt on there, who knows what would have happened to me. Maybe I don't make this video. You know what I mean? Maybe I don't make it out of Colorado. So I text my brother just to let somebody know what happened in case they come back and I'm murdered or something. So that was at 3:30 in the morning. 7 a.m., I go down to the front desk and I talk to a guy named Jesus. If you're watching Jesus, fuck you. So, because you were no help. So what happened? I talked to Jesus, and I was like, here's what happened. Someone tried to get in my room, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, what's your room name? What's your number, blah, blah, blah. And he wrote down a piece of paper. He's like, okay, that's weird. We've had other complaints about, keys working on other things. I go, what? And he's like, oh, yeah, I had a complaint earlier in the day about someone said that they heard someone trying to get in their room or something. And then when we checked it out, it was nothing. And I was like, oh, really? So keys work for other rooms here? Is that your policy? And he's like, no, absolutely not. He was like, that was just a one-time thing. I go, a one-time thing that happened to some other person and me? So somebody's on a floor trying to get into rooms, seeing that they're unlocked. And then he's like, oh, well, we'll look into it. Thanks. And then went about his business. Now, what the hell? Like, he was not concerned, number one. There was nobody else at the desk at the time, so it's not like he was being rushed. And I'm still freaked out about it, just talking about it now. You know what I mean? Like, the lack of care from, the staff at the Doubletree by Hilton Westminster was appalling. And it gets worse. So the next night, I go and I go to the graduation, go other places and stuff. So the next night, I'm in a hotel room and I'm freaked out. So I post up the chair against the door for a little added insurance. I tried to move one of the tables, but they were like pretty locked down. And I didn't want to unplug stuff and, whatever. But I slept with the chair propped up against the door. And then I check out and I was going to tell him, like, what do you guys, like, I was, at the time, I was thinking, like, I don't want my money back or nothing like that. But damn, y'all could have been like, have complimentary breakfast on us or something like that. A little customer service or something. Just anything other than like, oh, well, we don't give a shit. But, which is what I got. So then I was going to check out and the guy was like, oh, what room are you in? I was like, yeah, all right, bye. And he's like, then he takes a phone call and ignores me. And so I just left my key there. And I was like, when I get back home, I'm going to call. And, I booked through hotels.com. I'm going to call them and see what they can do. Because at this point, I'm starting to get more and more mad. Like, someone was trying to get in my room and they had a key. Like, I'm not going to say was it one of the staff doing it? Is this how you guys operate? Like, you think, oh, let's rob this fool. You know what I mean? Like, they had a key and the key worked. It unlocked the lock. So where are they getting that from? Right? Anyway, that's speculation. Allegedly. I don't know. But I call hotels.com and I explain the whole situation. And they're like, okay, well, we'll call the hotel about a refund. So I said, okay. Because at this point, I'm like, well, I had a horrible, like, I thought I was going to die stay. Like, I should get my money back. Right? People will complain for less. And I feel like I'm not a complainer too much. And then don't go by this video. You know what I mean? But, like, I feel like, the least they could do was offer something as compensation for, like, thinking I was going to get killed at their hotel. It's not like this was like a trashy motel. It was a fucking Hilton. You know what I mean? So then I'm on hold for a long time. They come back, they say, oh, the person who can approve it, the manager, is in a meeting. So we'll try again later, but call back tomorrow and, we'll see what we can do there. So I was like, all right, fine. So I call back the next day, get another person. None of this is on file. They didn't make a report or nothing. So I didn't have no reference thing I could do. So I had to explain it all again to the next person. They call the hotel. This time their excuse is, oh, it's the manager's day off. And so, I mean, either you didn't tell the manager what was going on, because why? If I'm the manager of a hotel and I've managed different places, so it's my responsibility. And, I know what good customer service is, and this ain't it, Doubletree by Hilton Westminster. If I know good customer service, I'm reaching out to that person. I'm calling hotels.com and be like, okay, cool. What's it you guys are a big fucking hotel chain. What's it going to cost you to give this person their money back or anything, or at least talk to them. Talk to them and be like, you know what? We looked into it and here's what happened. Because the whole time I was there, I was thinking any second now somebody going to bust in with like a gun or something, kill me, rob me, worse. Anyway, so the person wasn't there. So I decided, you know what? Hotels.com ain't working out for me because they said we can't approve the refund without the hotel's approval. Try again tomorrow. I was like, all right, thanks for nothing. So I called the Hilton.com. Now, I thought that this was a long shot because they're going to say, oh, well, you booked through hotels.com. I thought I'd try. So I finally get someone on hold for the Hilton. They said, oh, hold on. We'll contact the hotel. And then I'm on hold for 45 minutes. I'm on hold. It's funny to me now because it's so ridiculous. I'm on hold for 45 minutes. And then they come back and they had the nerve to say they got the manager on the phone. And the manager said no such conversation took place. I didn't talk to Jesus on this date at this time that I had all the specifics on. That didn't happen. And there was no break-in. You know, they try to act like I'm lying. Like I'm fucking lying. Like, are you kidding me? It's ridiculous. Like, so then I was like, so you're not going to help me? They're like, no. If they said it didn't happen, it didn't happen. Now, bare minimum, at least send me footage of the security camera, because I know there are cameras in the hallway, right? At least send me security footage to say like, oh, the maid bumped the door with the cart while they were setting up. Or like somebody walked by, tried the wrong door and just walked away. Or something like that. Show me something to prove that, you know, y'all wasn't working on this and they had a working key to the room. How did they do that? How did it unlock? Now, if you can't show me that, I start to get suspicious. Like, definitely you guys are lying that I didn't talk to you. You know, definitely you don't want to give me a refund because apparently the, you know, DoubleTree by Hilton Westminster is hurting like that, where they need every, you know, $100 stay. But don't, you know, call me a liar. You know, that was one of the most dangerous thing. That was the most insulting thing. But like, it's ridiculous. You know, never stay at this hotel. If you've ever stayed at this hotel, had a bad experience, please, you know, leave it in the comments or, you know, share this with someone who you know had a shitty time there. You know, someone tried to break into my room. They had a working key. And the hotel, the DoubleTree by Hilton, Westminster, in Denver, Colorado, or Westminster, Colorado, whatever town it was, lied and said that never happened. You know, this channel is called Tommy Loves Stuff, like I said, because I talk about the things that I love. You know, the things I enjoy, the little things that, you know, bring me happiness. This isn't one of them. And like I said, I've waited. That happened at the end of April, early May. Hotels.com is yet to contact me. The Hilton has yet to contact me with anything. I waited, as of this filming, it is August 2nd, 2022. I waited that long to hear back from someone, and I haven't heard back from them. I probably never will. You know, so this is ridiculous. And I just wanted to share it with you guys so you guys never stay at this hotel. You know, tell everyone you know not to stay at this hotel because they're liars, possibly thieves. Anyway, I just wanted to share this with y'all. I appreciate you watching. Later.